Hi friends, welcome back to playing tribute to Ace Attorney Investigations, where we are in the last case of the game, and look at this, we're already in the middle of it. I think there's like 3 parts of the middle though, and like 3 parts of the end, because I think there's 7 parts of this. Yeah. So beginning, we already did. We got a nice recap last time. That helped me a lot because it's been a while, and yeah, we got started, searched around the first, I guess, part of the building, and now we're going to the second half of the building. I think it's the Alba. Oh man, I already forget the names. Albation. No, there's another syllable in there. Albastion. That's what it is. Alabastion. There, I got it. That's where we're going now, and we know that they're a little bit less friendly than the Bali's. Bali's? Bombies? I'm just gonna start. We'll see how it goes. They're less welcoming. The Balmies or the Bali's or the Babalese. Are more friendly and welcoming and all about the tourism. The Alabastion was not very friendly and welcoming, but the Steel Samurai did walk through there, so maybe we'll find him. What in the world is happening? Oh. Agent Lang. Nice to see you. Count off! Right, they're all number 1. I remember that, yeah. Shifu, 99 call out, so all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Most likely, because you can't tell with the numbers. Hey you. Yeah, you, second number 1 from my right. Sir, yes sir. Here, birthday present for you. Shifu, I didn't know that you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have, Shifu. You are more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday. Lang Si says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. That present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Tell him I said hi and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir. Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. And we thought he wasn't a nice guy. Should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting's over, everyone. Head for your posts. Dismissed! Sir! Wait, isn't he supposed to be guarding the ambassador? Yo, were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Sheena, and she's already filled me in. Sounds like you're out to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Albastian embassy. And what if I say no? Objection! Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights. Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Alabas has the strictest immigration regulations in the world, didn't you know? Even among my elite men, only about half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen, we might spoil the soup if you get what I mean. How dare you make such assumptions? Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought I was in charge of Alabast, Miss Von Karma. Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Alabasta are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you? We had an incident in Alabasta as well. This is what we call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, Wolfie, just let us in already. Is there a problem here, Agent Lang? I don't know who that is, so I'm just neutral voice again. Oh, I think we found the ambassador. Not really. Just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in. Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation. Having a debate because of my country. I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. It is all because I lacked the strength to govern well. Please, this is nothing of the sort, Ambassador. You weakling, Quirkus. Quirkus. Ah, curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country. What are you? The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. There, you see? Oh, no way! So many hold-its. Oh, hi! Hello, other ambassador. Ambassador Alba! I ask you please reconsider letting them into Alabast. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in the Babalese embassy, and he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to the ball someday. Alright, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to give the final okay anyway. Alright, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in! Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Babal murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babal. Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me. Yes, sir! Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better. She is not happy. Neither is he. Nobody really likes Lang. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine with Francisca. Don't worry. We'll take care of things. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes. So I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady over there, is she who I think she is? Oh, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet. Francisca von Karma, the prosecutorial prodigy. Wow, we're starting early with me not being able to read these lines. It's nice to see you again. I knew it! You're the whip lady. You may address me as Miss von Karma. Miss von Karma, I leave the investigation of Alabast in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu. The smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Francisca a bit more about them before I head to Alabast. And I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Paleno for all that he has done for me. Yo. You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing. Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. Right. There's no room for further failure. There's no room for further failure in my perfect investigation. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following. You mean the Babalese ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Babalese ink to begin with? That's classified Interpol info. Hold it! Francisca, as your subordinate, I am a part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you? Point taken. Very well, I'll fill you in. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zengba. Counterfeit bills. Yes, as you may have deduced, counterfeits are being made with Babal's special Babalese ink. And it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Babalese ink from the real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Babal. That's where these documents come into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Cochin was smuggling large amounts of Babalese ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem, which we guess you still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink. Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add to the counterfeit plates to the pile. since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Babalese embassy. We're looking into the Alabashan embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden. Mark my words, I will find them. Okay. Information obtained. Good to know. Let's see what it says here. It's hard to tell. Okay, so yeah. Alright. So we need the bills, we need the plates, and we need the ink. Well, I say we need. She's looking for it. We're probably going to find it at some point. Ambassador Paleno, I am in your debt. No, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador. On my honor. Wow, you're so sensational. You've really piqued my curiosity. I know they aren't much, but know that I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly. Are you giving me coupons again? No, that's quite all right. Oh, well, how about this then? Is that ink? And what exactly is it? It's fountain pen ink. Known as Babalese ink, it's made exclusively in Babal. So this is Babalese ink. Yeah, I'll take that one. We make it from white crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines. Please accept this ink, one dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer. Now, fortunate for me, the ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I'll gladly accept your gracious gift. Great! Wonderful! He's so happy. I love his sprite. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he has to know about it being used in counterfeiting, right? Maybe? Who knows? I guarantee it to you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience, and since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation. Talk about cornering the customer all over the market. Well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay? I didn't get permission to enter Alabast, so we're going to go gather whatever info we can over the Babalese side, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you two. Right, and I'm counting on you and Ms. Von Karma to sniff out clues in Alabast. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, you let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush on over straight away no matter where you are. I'll let you know when the time comes. Ah! Well, there he is. I knew we'd find him. What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? Oh. You're... Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm laughing because I know what we're about to see, and Edgeworth's reaction is very perfect. You're edgy! Oh, thank the heavens you're here! I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. Did he just call Edgeworth your lordship? The raven, it appeared, poof, and then disappeared, swoosh! And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, it... I'm so confused, I don't know what anything means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? I'm Larry of the House of Butts, married man of Neo-Old Tokyo, m'lady. Now I remember, this person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Yes, frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind and you act like it's no big deal? What sort of bind are we talking about here? The suspect kind! Yeah, probably. That sounds about right. I accidentally became a suspect in a murder! I see. That is quite the bind. Not that we're in the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlikely face. Yep, when something smells. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by one. Wow. That was harsh. That was uncalled for. Besides, wait, hold on. Larry! It was you? You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph. Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I even winked at you through my headpiece. Tear it up. Tear it up and throw it in the trash. That's what he's thinking right now. What's going on? And why are you beet red? Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Aha, so this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. If there's, in case there wasn't enough reason for this man to hate me, Lang is just, he doesn't even have to be out to get me. It's just, things are just falling into his lap. Of what you ask? Of the murder of a man who has snuck into this embassy. Masked to mask the second. What? Masked to mask the second? Wow, okay. Yeah. Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing. Shifu, we've identified the victim. Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well? What'd I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang... Oh, hey. Hey, old friend. Sup? Oh, I don't remember what I did for his voice. Agent Lang, will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Yes, of course. You let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. You're the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu. Non-stop. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found. What incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If we can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I'm in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of Damask II, would you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard totally. We put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos. Damask II, who broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another. And I suppose he lost his life when it was forced to fight someone else in this room? Why exactly was the man placed under arrest, Detective? That samurai. He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. It was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Well, that's helpful. Tonight here at the Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed. But keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats for the guests who had been called to sit in them were empty. A no-show. Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, That man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time. And where was he? He was on the roof with one of his legs down a chimney. Why, Larry? Why? That chimney leads directly into this room. That's... Oh, Larry. Larry Butts, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation. Oh, that's Edgeworth, I'm sorry. In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation. So who is this guy? I'm very curious. So this is the victim, Damask 2. The second. What is with this gaudy outfit? You don't know about Mask Damask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the highways. So this thief is separate from the Adagarasu? I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. Damask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask. And that's alright, all I'd probably hear are tales of his failure anyway. You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What is he holding? What is he holding? Looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There's something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Prima Duck statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? If I had to guess from the text, I would say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is this person that requested the theft of the Prima Duck statue? I see that Damask is still taking orders, even if he is a second Damask and not my friend Ron Delight. I suppose this was the wrapping cloth Damask II used to carry his stolen goods, but there's nothing wrapped in it now. I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever he was out to steal. So this is the murder weapon in the case. There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect to steal Samurai's daddy's secondary weapon? I only call it secondary because although he uses his sword in most of his battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that turns into a real fight. You sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai. It's only because I saw the stage show earlier. I knew the sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. Can we take the mask off and reveal who it is? Thought that the mask had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name. A phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashina. Cash in now? I don't know. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damask II. The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Oh, interesting. Bludgeoned to death with a sword? Is that what happened? Alright, cool. There are birds up there. Two gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally as lovely name. Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. Passion flowers. That's a rather unusual name. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. As they say, you learn something new every day. Apparently that's important. fireplace, and by the looks of it, I don't think it's been used recently. Yes, I can't say that I see anything unusual about it. But if Larry was seen coming out of the chimney, the person shaking hands with the Steel Samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. Steel Samurai must be very popular. They're even using the National Treasure as a backdrop. I just don't understand. What exactly is so great about Top Knot there? Clearly, there is depth to the show that a young person like you can't fathom. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of the show of costumed actors? Okay, I think that's definitely going to be important. For example, if the statue is facing the wrong way, there was the exact same statue sitting in the Babalese office we examined. It's the Prima Duck statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Cadopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of these two is a replica. But both Alabast and Babal claim to have the real thing. It's an incredibly childish fight to have. Okay, can I do something here? Because there's something wrong. Also, let me look at what I just... Oh, here's the Alabasts. I have to make sure that I... Just make sure that I point out the correct one if I ever need to use it. Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about the scene, Miss Von Karma. The apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes that Top-Knot's hand? That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way. You're right. The statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or a secretariat-level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now is facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched the statue around the time of the crime. Updated. Awesome. It's almost the exact same wall mount for knives in the Babalese side. But I can't see any of the details from this distance. Okay. Okay, we're good. Cool. Let's take a look at the weapons. There are some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. It must be the counterparts to the Babalese knives, which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. Right, and perhaps bloodstain? Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I suspect that these are the counterparts of the Babalese knives. The blades of these knives should match the blade of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. One of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces of the blade and the handle fit each other. It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. And this means that an Albastian knife did find its way into Babal. But how? Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this? I wonder why there are no whips on display here. Of course. Is this the samurai spear? Oh, it's bent. I'm going to have to deduce the, with the picture that Larry drew. It's the Steel Samurai's primary weapon, the samurai spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh! When you hold it, you just want to live like BAM! You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear's up to the task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into the distance. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say anything about wanting one? Maybe I can shut him up if I show him the piece of evidence. It'll point something out about the spear. Because he drew the spear, yeah. Eureka! Larry, about the spear. Oh, are you feeling it? Bam! I thought there was something strange about the spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me, or is the spear a bit bent? Whoa, no way, it's exactly as it should be, yo. I have here an autograph that you wrote for me earlier. I didn't tear it up and throw it away yet. Now take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. What do you have to say to that? I'm sorry! When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then during practice, I was spinning it around and around. And bam! It hit the wall! You unbelievable! This is an embassy! But I've always been like that, ever since I was a kid. One time, on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man! Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Okay, so some field trip, and I began to shadow fight with myself. Not that! I mean what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that! It's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything. That's not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. What? Where did that come from? Well, you keep calling it the samurai spear. But it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it'll bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth. That's not friendship. It's utter humiliation. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. Time to prove Larry innocent. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. This. That's... Yo, Pink Princess, how you feeling? Still feeling ill? And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastion Embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well. Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. I have a feeling I know who's under that mask, too. And I don't think that Larry knows. Miss Pink Princess, if you would be so kind as to... Yep. This must be what they call fate. How could this happen 2 days in a row? What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Yeah, Larry did not know. Why are you so surprised? So you're the one they got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now. You are acquaintances with Larry? Oh yeah, so we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So I imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I've misjudged you, edgy poo. You misjudged him? I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know. That was no misjudgment on your part. That was precisely what I was trying to do. But looks like the winds have shifted, and he's now willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Poo. I'd chase you for forever, to the ends of the earth. Isn't that just peachy? This is one of those rare times when Francisca and I actually see eye to eye. Oh gosh, now we need to talk to her. Now then, oh, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at Gatewaterland as the Pink Badger. What are you talking about? That was ages ago. It was yesterday. Look, I worked at Global Studios before a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, kind of out of the blue, actually. They called you? Apparently, the girl who plays Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, so they called me to be her last-minute replacement. They don't have enough people on staff at that studio. I really couldn't say no, so here I am playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But the poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her. She's going to have a terrible time when she returns. I mean, I'm not exactly... Oh, she's done. Okay. You're a rather lively old lady. So basically, you received the stand-in request this morning, correct? You got it! If you need to see it, I've got it right here. Look! It appears that she is telling the truth. I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears. Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall. Being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I know exactly what this is. I was just taking my break when I found this stuck under the door to my room. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight. Your loving knight. How absolutely revolting. I mean, you think you could get my name right. There's no accent in my name. Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before? Yeah, no, he's putting two and two together, too. I wonder if you guys are, too. But now that you're here, Edgepoo, I feel 100% safe. What do I factor into this? You'd bust out the evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgepoo? Well, if you'll allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later. Oh, come on, Edgepoo, stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get. What were you doing at the time of the crime? What crime? What? After the show was over, I've had nothing but free time on my hands. There's a body in this room. You see... Never mind. So I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm. Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours. Is that right? Oh, Edgepoo, I'm so scared. Hold me. Caress me. Oh my gosh. If you could please not cling on to my personage. In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech? Oh, that. No, I didn't go. I mean, I may have had the heart of a young, tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the show ended, my hips started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all. Can you provide proof of your condition? Oh, you just go on ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to the embassy. I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room is rather pleasant. Is that Missile? Prosecutor Von Karma, I've brought a police dog, as you requested, sir. Good work. You may leave now, officer. This dog. I requested the assistance of a dog in our search for the Yatagarasu. Looks like you guys have some pretty big, bright dogs in this country, too. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy. That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taking care of. Yep, it's Missile. I think its name is Missile. What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks. That action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know. Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go! Good dog. You really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do you have here? What? It looks like a small hot dog, but... Oh, wait, Francisca, isn't that an official samurai dog? No! Bad missile! He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that. It's just a meat substance stack featuring the Steel Samurai. I'm sure he'll be fine. It's quite a bit of information you gathered there in a single quick glance. You should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog there in the first place. It looks like that snack wasn't all Missile found. What do we have here? It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might... Oh, I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing. I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit her. Samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. Are we guessing that it's Wendy's? Is that the assumption? If you could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt. Oh, Edgy Poo, what's the meaning of this? This is uncomfortable. Why'd you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask, and I would gladly have given you as many as you'd like. Thanks, but no thanks. The shirt was found here at the crime scene. What? Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here? I know nothing! Nothing, I tell you! What? Oh, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt, but I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. Wearing the pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy Poo. Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room? Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I'll tell you. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't believe she is lying about her actions, so I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace in her break. Somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one. I assume that the samurai dog was also yours? That brilliant mind of yours. You really can see through everything about me. So the feeling of dread continues. But I suppose I should ask for more details. Sadly enough. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it? Oh, of course, I'm forever yours, my edgy wedgy poo. That's not what I asked. If you could just stick to what I asked you. Edgy, are you in Miss Oldbag? No! You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy. A present? The studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. Those studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions? Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you going to stick up for me? Oh, about that. See, after the show, I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were. The samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make some preparations for distributing them after the show. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well. Excuse me? Oh, I tried one, and I thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, their taste was probably for kids too. Wow. She makes me flabbergasted. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. As I sat there in the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... What is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, my edgy poo? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one. The rest are all here for me. Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks. They transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers. Don't meet your heroes, kids. I miss Will Powers. Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Hey, how about that? I got a few things I gotta ask you too. What is it? It's like both you and him. How is it that the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? And Francie, what about that promise you made to me? Promise? What promise? The one where you said you got a model for my next book? Francie's Whippity Whip Trip? I thought it was Whiplash Thrash or something like that. Yow! I made no such promise! Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Larry Stoneham now? That's Stoneham! Larry Stoneham! Get that straight in your head, Edgy. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Now I remember, you're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist. No, you got it all wrong. I gave up on that whole Larice business. Besides, when Benjolina left me and my heart in pieces, that's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit. Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as the Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of an actress who plays the Pink Princess. You got it! I knew you'd know what I meant, Edgy. Not really. It's not so much as I understood. But a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too. Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. So whenever he said that Larry wasn't the type to commit murder, it was an insult, not a compliment. It wasn't like, oh no, he's too nice a guy to commit murder. It was, no, he's not smart enough. That's fair. For past experience has taught me that you are always at the center of some insane event. Edgy, how could you be so mean, stabbing me with your words like that? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know. Okay, I get it. Just stop Francie from whipping me from behind. So, I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So you will tell me what exactly you did, Larry. Nope, not yet, Edgy. That'll take more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more! Confess, now! Okay, well, I was up on the roof. And why exactly were you up on there? Oh, you know, that wintry custom and the legendary hero. Legendary hero. Santa Claus! Santa Claus... I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys. But when I got there, there was smoke pouring out of the chimney. And... well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up. Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know! I did graduate from junior high, you know. Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Ah! It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as the prime suspect in this murder. Come on, man, what's so wrong with pretending to be Santa? Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit. No! Hey, wait a sec. We're not in court. Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon? Oh, that. Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know. Yes, apparently you did. And well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Ah! Shocked! Foolish fool, looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you? Who would believe such a tale? No, that sounds about right. Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry. Edgy, you believe me! I just knew that our friendship was something special. Anyway, even if Larry has simply forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle. Oh, my dear friend, I know what you were doing. I know what you did last night. Am I not going to be able to... Not a clue! I didn't even look at it. That's because the only thing I can see right now is the form of my lovely Frenzy. Oh, in that case, allow me to help you sear my form into you for all eternity. Ah! Whippity whip trip! Now this is a trip I'm willing to endorse, especially if we can finally get some peace here. Okay, alright, not yet for that then. I really think that it was him, though. Okay, wasn't the fireplace not being used? Is that part of my logic right now? Smoke was one. There's no trace of this room's fireplace being used. And your point is? Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to the fireplace? At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of facts, is it not? Are you sure it wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof? There is testimony from an investigator that puts Larry in this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? Ah, I see. So what you're proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. So basically, that the fireplaces of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you're implying? Okay, so maybe that's how the shirt got here. Precisely. Okay, so let's see. The lady's undershirt that Missile found. Ah! Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug. If you know the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already. You have it all wrong, and this is evidence. The owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt. Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order? I agree. There's an X on the back of the wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it. Ooh. What in the... The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighboring room. The neighboring room? There appears to be nothing particular about the next room, but the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there is a secret passageway through this room's fireplace. We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as Damask the Second's killer now, are you? No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damask the Second's murder. Wait, really? It's not like the killer escaped that way? Or maybe the mask came in that way? It would appear that the answer has made itself known. You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. Very well, then. If you're prepared. I'm not prepared! I don't really know where you're aiming here. It's... Okay, no, wait. We're proving that Larry is innocent. That's what we're doing right now, right? I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me. Good! I'm counting on you, Edgy. Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is. My lie?! Yeah. I know that there's still something you are keeping from the rest of us. What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you! I should just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world and then kill myself. And throw everything into the mass confusion! You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see. Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who's ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. Edgy. Although, allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case, and that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. Alright, this time. This time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight. Okay, I think I'm going to be giving him some evidence here. Because he's probably still going to lie. Okay. After a show, I left the pushcart in the Rose Garden and came to the embassy. And then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. Chimney like that is a rare thing, you know. So then I went in to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore. But it's kinda ultra embarrassing. And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me? Gee, man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't just blurt it out. So you're just gonna have to reason it out of me. As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie. I have every intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter. Yeah, Larry, I know what you were doing. That sounds about right, yep. So, am I presenting it here? I feel like I should press something. Though he did say expose the lie, so... Also, I want to see how the handwriting compares. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's the horrible handwriting that's the problem here. Just to be clear... Where's it at? There it is. What does it say? Has mistakes from bad penmanship. Just to be clear, this does not say Wendy. It says Mindy. It's very clever. Oh, also you can tell the, like, circle-y E-looking thing with loving at night as the eyes into night.
Objection!
Oh no, okay. Fine! I'll press it first. I've been jumping the gun with this letter because I'm like, this is very clear, right? It's just like the last case of the last Phoenix Wright game, where he's like stalking the person that he likes. You suddenly wanted to play Santa. Oh well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. That was down at Gourd Lake. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. I've heard of being childhood friends. Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney, after all. Actually, it's worth delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal. Actually, I believe in this case this man playing Santa is actually quite a big deal. Are you saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa-quality stuff? I mean... Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang. Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean. Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world? Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know, so you keep saying. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you are delivering a present to. I was, delivering a present to a child not basking in the glow of love.
Objection!
That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie. You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that? In any case, the person you wish to deliver a present unto was most certainly this. Wait a second. Oh, is this the guy that... Yeah, this is Mask to Mask. Cash now? Cash in now. Anyway, it was... I mean, technically it was... The pink print... It was Mindy, but we'll keep going. It's fine. Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect. Don't spread lies about me! I totally didn't want to seem his old bag so much that I'd try to go down a chimney. Ow! I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady. Well, I must admit that I myself hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up with this. Oh, the fill-in notice.
Take that!
This is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress. But that's not true, Edgy. She's the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam piercing my heart when she's watching me. You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly apparition of a man. Yeah. You haven't matured at all since we last met. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes. This guy's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you all have to make me out to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. Hey, Edgy. It looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here, and it looks just like what you do in court. I guess old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Langzy says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? So you think that all I wanted to do is go visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then to top it all off, I became a suspect of a murder. That's what you really meant. But why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Hey, someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this? Not as a confession, but as a testimony. So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claiming my claim. My claim is a claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that? So it was you! You're my stalker! There it is. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman who's wholly focused on one man and when... Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm so inspired. I don't even... These two together are such... Oh my gosh. I can't believe it took to the spin-off game for them to put these two together in one place. This is chaos, and I love it. You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man. I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there's nothing further for me to prove at this point. What do you mean? Of course you still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy. Proof, you say? Remember, Edgy, everything's evidence in court, right? You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry. But I understand your point. Yeah, see? I'm totally a pro at this now. Very well. If you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. Do I present it there?
Hold it!
I'm going to press before I present, because I learned that. Well, I've been saying that for a while now. After all, if not for that, then what other reason did you wish to go down that chimney? You can't say that without any evidence. That's against the rules, Edgy. Thanks for keeping the prosecutor in line for me, Mr. Suspect.
Hold it!
I have the evidence, and if you wish to see it that badly, I can introduce you to. But it's not good to keep them waiting, my subordinate. Hurry and show them already. Lies! All lies, Edgy! Well, if you wish to lie, then by all means continue. Because I'm ready to expose your lie at a moment's notice. You won't get the better of me. Now let's see. Yeah, it's gotta be this one. Now can I present the letter?
Objection!
There you go. Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter. Hey! Why are you showing that thing to me? Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving knight. Well, isn't that just romantic? But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight? Ah! I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
Objection!
You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit. The salutation? I mean, it's very clear in the name. The M and the I. Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again. What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English! You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye. Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing. There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching. But then we'll have to wait until we're off this crime scene. Yeah, gee, save me from the scary man! Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake. That wasn't me. Come again. It's a fake! Someone's out to get me, so they made that fake letter. To set me up! Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean.
Hold it!
Penmanship analysis. What's that? No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours, and we'll know soon enough who is it that sent this letter. I'll never write another thing in my life!
Hold it!
It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. You've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting. Does it have the loopy eyes? Yeah, it does. Oh wait, and the E does look very much like that. The E looks more like an I, and the eyes look more like E's. Man, dude,
Take that!
you do need penmanship lessons. this autograph and our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure. I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy. So he finally confesses. I saw the pink princess being carried around in the stretcher and got worried, alright? I wanted to go into Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney? What a criminally overactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down to the chimney. Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure at conveying said sentiment. I'm really, really sorry. Larry, you may be a shameful, good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you weren't the killer. I told you to trust me. Oh, this is fun music. I don't think I've heard this one yet. Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you. Again, is it a compliment or an insult? I'm not sure. Is he not the killer because he's not smart enough or because he's a nice guy? Edgy, you're... Ah! We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. Ow. In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butts sought to climb down the chimney. Not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. He's probably thinking, me too. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay? No. Hey, what? Edgy. What does the Wolfman mean when he says, I'm not off the hook yet? He means that the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. We can't only rely on the words of the suspect, after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night, but the blood-stained samurai sword that was left in the crime scene, as long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite. Edgy! That guy! He looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me. I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial. Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, I've been dealt a very nice hand with a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got. I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon, but the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. This is one game I can't afford to lose. I was the one who found the body of the victim, Damask II. Beside him was a samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too. Wait, you were in this room? Did he already say that? I don't remember him saying that. I'm not sure. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak into a crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
Hold it!
If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence? You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. Come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that. Right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you, or me for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being, meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Okay.
Hold it!
Let's press everything. So you're the first to discover the body this time. This time? What's that supposed to mean? You'd better watch what you say. I only said this time because earlier Kay was the first to discover the body in the ball. And your secretary, Agent Shina, was ready to accuse her of murder for it. Ha! So you're going to use that as an excuse to call me suspicious now? Of course not. I was simply pointing out the usual pattern with discoveries of bodies. But in the Babalese case, there was proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, this one's a bit different since we know exactly where the weapon is. Beside him was a samurai sword.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. Oh. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. So much for the thing that I thought was what Miles was talking about with the... Oh! Wait, it's weighty? And it's heavy, so it's not hollow. Is that what he was talking about? Like he thought it was hollow? Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. Covered in the victim's blood.
Hold it!
So the sword is covered in the victim's blood. Yeah, the lab result confirmed that the blood on the sword matches the victim's. But the sword is as dull as a vanilla envelope. Vanilla? It's just a straight stage prop after all. Steel Samurai is all about safety first. So you can use it as a real... So you can use it like a real sword. So you can't use it like a real sword. Steel Samurai has spoken. The Pink Princess also appears to have something she'd like to petition to you personally. What the Pink Princess would like to say can wait for the day after eternity. Anyway, my point is that even though the sword's too dull to slice with, it's certainly heavy enough to bludgeon someone to death with. Therefore...
Hold it!
About the samurai sword, have you received a report from forensics yet? They confirmed that the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. Alright, but have they confirmed that the outline of his wound is consistent with the weapon? Tell me something. Do you see the dead body right there in front of you? So if they were conducting the autopsy right now, shouldn't that body not be here? Well, I suppose so. I guess they must still be investigating in this room. Meaning that it's possible he doesn't know about that piece of evidence's true nature. Anything else you'd like to chit-chat about? No? Good? Then let's continue. So he doesn't know it's not... that it's hollow. Like it should bend. Maybe that's the thing. Like it's heavy enough, but it should bend when it's smacked. Because it's smacked against the this thing against the wall. Do you know what this is, Agent Light? It's a long spear, right? We used those in Lawton in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down. Spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip. I think the whip is in a slightly different category. So what's your point? Are you gonna tell me that the spear is the real weapon? No, I simply want to take a look at the section here. The way it's bent. Precisely. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the Steel Samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow. Let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet, there's not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. But I wish they'd made them out of better stuff, because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. The Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him? Ouch! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back to the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se. So all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risks in a place of real logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place.
Objection!
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on toward the truth.
Knuckle back!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like for you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask's II without bending it. What you have in mind, Lang? So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course. I need this evidence even Agent Lang can't refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. It's possible to use a samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't the only natural that the suspicion will fall onto the owner of said weapon? Okay, I think I know what the actual murder weapon is. I was thinking about that as we came into the testimony as a whole with Lang. Or the... whatever you call it. What did he say? What is it called? The logical reasoning or whatever. Because it's not testimony, he's just... the accusation, I don't know. How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of the embassy. Yeah, you didn't examine everything. There's no stone we've left unturned. There is a stone that you've left unturned. And we have managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact?
Knuckle back!
If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you.
Hold it!
They did not search everything. The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword. That's right, even with luminol. Which means that there are no infinite possibilities outside of what I already outlined. Do you have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? Yes, I do. If you believe that, there is no other door of possibility left to open. Then allow me to force one open for you.
Knuckle back!
Huh. And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon.
Knuckle back!
The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. And they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation.
Knuckle back!
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you slander my men. I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. Alright then, I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed Damask II. Let's make sure that I click the right one. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is not the first one, but this one. It was moved during the murder.
Take that!
The national treasure of Alabast. You mean the Primaduck statue? Yes, and as you know, only Ambassador and his Secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
Knock him back!
Ha! Ha ha ha! You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident. Between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of the Ball. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters on the balance. Over a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. But I'll be if I let something go unexamined. Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction the statue is facing is just before and after the crime are different. And there's only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He is most definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please, let's be rational about this. Lang Zi says, just go already. He's out of words. He's out of quotes. Yes, sir. We'll just be hanging out here. It's fine. Shifu? Yeah. I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Primaduck statue. I see. Wait, but then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. You may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know? Agent Lang. What do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already. But Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet. I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? If we're going to take such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then. Less talk and more investigating. If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminal... Okay. Oh, it's chemiluminescence. That looked a lot more complicated than it was. Luminal chemiluminescence test on the statue. Luminal test. Good thinking. The statue is the murder weapon, and some of the victim's blood should be on it. Also, I'm surprised that no blood turned up on the knife, handle in one of the cases there, where it was talking about how, like, the handle was too clean in the last one, but it's clean here, there's no blood on it. And no luminol, reaction. Okay, let's get in the forensics team in here. Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. Guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed Damask II. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damask II, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining this statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. Think so? Okay, then knock yourself out. Hey look, it's a handprint. And what do we have here? A dirty smudge. It looks like a handprint? What's a definitive piece of bit of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like we've got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. Looks like it's too late for me to do anything about it now. Hey, forensics guy, I want you results on these fingerprints ASAP. You hear me? Please don't be Larry's. Larry, please tell me you didn't touch the statue. Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good, and? Sir, about the prince we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know, the victim of the murder in the Babalese embassy? The prince belonged to him, Mr. Manny Cochin. Ooh, I think somebody swapped statues. But that's... What's going on around here? That's impossible. Each prima donna statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, leads me to only one conclusion. Someone swapped the statues. This statue is actually Babal's prima donna statue. Impossible! It can't be! Ha! Yeah! Larry never once set foot in the Babalese soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only serves to confuse us even further. The ringleader of the smuggling operation was killed with an Alabastian knife in Babal. And Damask II was killed on Alabastian soil, the Babal's national treasure. The mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they would form. Things just got complicated, man. I have nothing to say. Wow. Yeah. I don't really remember this case very much at all. Like, I totally forgot about the embassy and all of that. I kind of remember seeing the character sprites, like, vaguely. And I did, of course, remember who was behind the samurai mask, but I think that was just because I saw a picture of it, or like a sprite of it since then. So I don't even think that I would have remembered that Larry was behind the samurai mask. And I just guessed Old Bag was behind the Pink Princess mask because, of course. Yeah. Yeah. It's great. You guys know that I love Larry. As crazy and troublemaking as he is, I just have to put on the mood of Edgeworth whenever he deals with him, because Edgeworth is not a fan. Nick kind of like tolerates him. Edgeworth is just always annoyed. I think that's the background there, the mood of them as they interact with him. Nick is just like, yeah, okay, can't do much about this. And Edgeworth is like, why are you here? Though I like that wow, now I'm calling her Franzi. I love that Franziska got to whip him into shape a little bit and call him out on his ways. He's a character. But I love him. It's great. And I love the cameos that have been popping up in this game. Always a lot of fun to see old characters and to see them, in more detail. Even though, like, seeing Lotta was fun too, but we didn't actually get to talk to her too much. But anyway, so yeah, I hope you're enjoying. This one's gonna be a long one. I can already tell based on how long these first two parts were. I don't know whether all of the parts are gonna be this long. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. But these were both big, like, introductory kind of things, like investigating the two sides of things. So, I don't know. Other parts might be shorter. Who knows? I guess we'll find out whenever we go forward. So, I'll talk to you guys next time.